In 2009, a newly appointed CEO and executive director of a multinational goods company announces on his first day at job that his company would no longer be providing company guidance to the Wall Street. He said the practice is inappropriate and that he would be eliminating the quarterly reporting altogether. This announcement was like waving a red flag to the bull of Wall Street. Result? The company's stock plummeted 8% in response to the news in one day. Oh no! And further 12% over the few months. When asked why he did what he did, he said, I figured that they couldn't fire me if I did it on first day of my job. And also, achieving an inclusive style of growth vision would be impossible in a system that looks at only the short term. The key word here is short term. He was actually right. In 2020, investment guru Warren Buffett called for companies to stop issuing quarterly earning guidance. Mr. Buffett told the companies that this kind of practice forces company to place too high a priority on making the numbers at the expense of nurturing the long-term interest of a business. Where is this company today? Today, this multinational consumer goods company is recognized as the #1 corporate sustainability leader for the 10th year in a row. It is valued at approximately 50.7 billion euros in 2020. So, who is the CEO? Why wasn't he playing with the conventional rule of business? What was the inclusive style of growth vision he had, and why is this story important to understand what the sustainability mindset is? Eager to know the answers? Well, I'm eager to answer them for you. Hi, this is Shruti Bhairappanavar here. I'm an architect by profession but a sustainability coach and consultant by choice. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Sustainability Mindset, that aims to facilitate the future leaders with sustainability knowledge, skills and tools to become sustainability change agents. In today's video, we are going to hear a fascinating story of a CEO who took an unconventional route to do business. And then we will understand what the sustainability mindset is. Let's begin with the story. On January 1, 2009, Mr. Paul Polman became Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director of a multinational consumer goods company. Yes, you guessed it, Unilever. Unilever was at the time 60th largest company in the world by market capitalization with a revenue of 39.8 billion euro. It was a multinational corporation selling consumer goods including food, beverages, cleaning agents and personal care products. It was that huge. Mr. Polman was the first CEO in the company's 125 years history to be hired from outside the company. But because of his previous work experience being a former president at P&G and a former VP at Nestle Foods, he seemed a solid and an uncontroversial choice at Unilever. Then this happens. On the day one, Mr. Polman announces that his company would no longer be providing company guidance to the Wall Street, starting an ideological battle that plummeted the company's stock 8% in response to the news and further 12% over the next few months. But this was merely the first taste of what Mr. Polman had up his sleeves. So the actual situation of the company in 2009 was that even though Unilever was a 60th largest company in the world, it had been through a decade of low or no growth in 2009. So when the new CEO declared that the company would double its revenue by 2020, everyone were like, yay! But the moment he said it's going to happen with sustainability growth model, everyone started saying he's gone crazy. But this did not stop Mr. Polman. In 2010, just a year after his hiring, Mr. Polman formalized the Unilever Sustainability Living Plan, named Small Action, Big Differences. His vision was to create a more inclusive style of growth setting the company to prosper by being part of the solution to the society and environmental problems he observed, such as deforestation, food security, poverty, and environmental degradation. The Unilever Sustainability Plan focused on three broad areas. 1. Health and well being. The plan was to deliver good nutrition and improved hygiene products to have a positive impact on two of the world's biggest health challenges, that is, cardiovascular disease and the disease of diarrhea. The second area of focus was the environment. The company was set to focus on greenhouse gases, water, waste, and sustainable agricultural sources. The third area of focus was enhancing livelihoods. The main focus was on the developing world, where indirectly they wanted to employ hundreds and thousands of smallholder farmers and small scale distributors. Imagine such an unconventional way of doing business even today seems like a philanthropic activity than actual business. But Mr. Polman was experimenting this in the year 2010. By the end of 2011, something strange began to happen. Operational profits were up by 26%. The turnover was up by 11% and Unilever stock rebounded. By late 2012, its price was more than 50% above where it had been when Mr. Polman first started. So the Unilever had proved itself and was an unquestionable leader in the sustainability business. But before you guys talk about Unilever is this and Unilever is that, let's talk about the greenwash allegations on the Unilever in another video. This video is not about the company Unilever, but it's about Mr. Polman and his long-term thinking. It's about this man who truly had a sustainability mindset. How, you ask? Well, let's see what is the sustainability mindset. So, what is the sustainability mindset? The answer is divided in three levels. Level 1, the ecosystem level. The sustainability mindset is a way of thinking that results from understanding a complex interconnection between the different components of our ecosystem and the complexity of impact our human behaviors have on the system. Okay, this is a definition. Let's understand with an example. Ecosystem levels of sustainability mindset can be explained with an ideal example of monoculture farming. If you don't know what monoculture farming is, it's about growing one type of crop in the same place year after year. What about it, you ask? The technique is doing great, what's the problem? I understand that monoculture farming is used to increase efficiency in planting and harvesting as well as lowering costs to farmers. However, this type of farming has adverse effect on humans and the environment. How, you ask? Good question. Well, one type of crop means no nutrients present in the soil due to intensive farming. When no nutrients are present in the soil, which means there is no microorganisms or bacteria or even insects present in the soil. Now, everyone knows when there are no variety of microorganism, bacteria or insects present in the soil means crops will be damaged for sure. Why, you ask? Because there is no natural system present to control the population of the pest, right? One tries to eat the other. It's a food chain. Yeah, that's not there. So the crop is going to be damaged anyway. Now, did you see that everything is connected? All the components, only intensive farming caused no variety of nutrients present. When there was no variety of nutrients present, there was no bacteria and no insects. No insects, no bacteria, that means crops were damaged. They are all connected. But because we, the humans, modify these components to serve our purposes, things get complicated. Now, as an intelligent species on this planet, it's a fascinating tendency, I think, to solve a complex problem. We're all born engineers, to tell you the fact. We create problems ourselves to solve it in the future. That's how crazy we are. Let's see how we handle this problem. The problem is there is no nutrients present in the soil and there are a lot of pests and insects damaging the crops. What's the best solution? The best solution that we provided for this problem was to use fertilizers, insecticides, and pesticides. But after a thorough research done on this, the pesticides and the chemical fertilizers have penetrated into our food system, affecting our health. It has also affected water ecosystem. The chemical fertilizers and the pesticides have leached through the soil, polluting groundwater supplies. This hasn't stopped there. The rainwater runoff has carried these chemicals to the oceans and lakes, affecting the ecosystem as a whole. Was this our best solution? Definitely not. At the time when the decision was taken and still being taken, no one thought about the long-term effect of this solution. In fact, no one understood the complexity of the problem in the first place and still don't understand the complexity of the problem in the first place. The fun fact is, we are doing the same mistake even today. We are not taking lessons from the past. We are not learning anything. If we care enough to understand the interconnection well, nature will provide the free service for the very service we pay for. For example, in this case, free pest control and free fertilizers would be provided by the nature itself for free. But then, we are humans. We are all bunch of intelligent ignorance, The take-home point is to develop a sustainability mindset. It's important to understand the complex interconnections between the component of ecosystem so that we don't disrupt the network, because there are a lot of services ecosystem does for free. But if we have to disrupt in certain cases, we have to understand the complex impact our human behavior will have on the system so that we have a contingency plan, right? Now let's move to level 2. Level 2 is about social level. It's also about social sensitivity, which means showing an ability to feel and understand human interaction and interconnectedness. For example, see the social sensitivity Mr. Polman had. He had also expressed that all of us need to be net contributor to the society, he said. We must offer more than we take. We cannot afford any more global warming. We cannot let people go hungry. We cannot allow people to work for low fees. Capitalism need to evolve. This is the sensitivity Mr. Polman had. Let's take another example to see how things are interconnected. Let's understand global wealth distribution as an example. Due to the pyramid structure of monetary rewards in capitalism, most people in the world live in poverty. Check out the Global Pyramid of Wealth 2020. The level of financial inequality around the world is staggering. 45.8% of the global household wealth is in the hands of just 1.1% of the world's population. Those 56 million individuals control a mind-boggling $191.6 trillion, as can be seen on the following pyramid. Below that is 583 million people own 163.9 trillion. The base of the pyramid is the most poignant and is just shown how 2.9 billion people, which is a 55% of the world's population, share a combined wealth of 5.5 trillion, which is just 1.3% of the wealth. This has adverse effects globally. Millions suffer from poverty-related health conditions. Also, people who live below poverty line and don't have access to sufficient economic opportunity live by any dangerous means necessary, hence increased crime rate and so on and so forth. Wealth inequality was just one aspect. There is poverty, income gap, human rights, social security, and much more. The take-home point here is to develop a sustainability mindset. It's important to develop social sensitivity. This will help to understand the complex interconnection within the society that can make it strong or break it. The social sensitivity will also help to take initial measures to build a more strong and sustainable community. Now let's move to level 3. Level 3 of the sustainability mindset is about the individual level. The sustainability mindset is a way of thinking that results from looking into oneself, having a self awareness of our personal values and higher self. Here, self awareness makes us aware of our own sustainable or unsustainable behavior, whereas higher self refers to the spiritual dimensions, meaning purpose, meaning, oneness, etc. in life. For example, what do you think? What on earth had possessed Mr. Polman to launch into this widely ambitious project on the first day of his job? It seems he became convinced it was the right thing to do, right? Demonstrating higher self and higher purpose. He was not driven by a capitalistic vision but by more inclusive vision, don't you think? Now let's take a snapshot of this video. We spoke about Mr. Polman and his long-term thinking. Then we understood what the systematic mindset is and that it is divided into three levels. The ecosystem level that understands the interconnection between the different components of the ecosystems, the social level that is sensitive towards the society, and the individual level that is more about the value, the ethics, and the long-term vision. All in all, it's the mindset for the greater good of the whole. This mindset will help solve the social and environmental problem currently faced by humanity. That's what I wish and hope for. With this, I end my video here. If you are someone who wants to gain sustainability knowledge or develop a skill related to sustainability or maybe explore tools of sustainability, you are in the right place. Please join me by subscribing to my channel, The Sustainability Mindset. Also, don't forget to share my video if it has provided any value to you and expand your horizon. If you have any questions related to the video, comment below or you can write to me at thesustainabletymindset@gmail.com. See you guys soon. Until then, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.